Russo's brand family. We are family.
Hello, wrestling fans, and welcome to a new show here on the brand called Real Talk Wrestling. I'm your host. My name is McAvoy, the man with the most everything. That's my gimmick. Just to tell you a little bit about me, because I want to get right into it. I got a lot to talk about. We got a lot to talk about. So one thing that is a rule with my show, right, is that everybody needs to chill out and get some food, get some refreshments, and chill. You may hear some background noises here. I am actually in my office, the McAvoy offices, and it is a break time around here, so you may hear some beeping and stuff like that. But I work from home. I'm an affiliate marketer. I also have people that work for me that actually come to my home office and work and do their own thing. That's too much about me. You guys know a lot. I don't know anything about you. Tell me about you. So what I discovered is that this microphone picks up everything. You may even hear an ice cream truck come by, because when I was trying it, there was an ice cream truck came by and you could hear it. It was crazy. Anyway, my experience in the professional wrestling business is on the indies. I was a manager. I had two names. First name, don't laugh, was Fisher Flounder Ferguson, yeah. Triple F. I wanted to do the whole blue blood, young, rich, black, annoying kid gimmick, and it worked, but I didn't like the name, Fisher Flounder. And then we had the second gimmick, which I picked myself, Artemis Shannon Sinclair, ASS. And I wanted to do this whole thing where I had a ring and it said ASS. And, if something happened, I would, tell, whoever my manager, I wasn't working in the ring, but whoever I was managing, I would tell them to, get down on their knees and kiss my royal ring. Or I'll recreate it. Get him up! Get him up! You want to disrespect Mr. Artemis Shannon Sinclair? Then you must prepare to kiss my royal ass. Anyway, that was a gimmick. I wasn't that intense, but yeah, I was. I got a lot of heel heat. Yeah, it was pretty good. As a memory, I remember we were working this show and it was very, very hot outside, and one of my guys was legitimately injured, but the fans don't know this. They think it's all a show. So I'm screaming, I need some water, bring me some water. And one of the people in the crowd had a super soaker and sprayed the crap out of me with the super soaker. And of course I played it up, but I just thought that was pretty funny story. Yeah, it's a pretty funny story. Anyway, that was my gimmick. That was me, Artemis Shannon Sinclair. But I'm speaking from a perspective of not just that, but a perspective of a fan. And I like Mr. Russo's writing based off of the fact that he wrote from a place of reality. It was twists and turns and stuff like that. I'm not talking about, the stuff that he did in WCW. And then, look, I'm not trying to just blow smoke. I'm just being honest. Stuff he did in WCW, a lot of that was to get eyes to the screen. But like a lot of the other things, a lot of the interaction that he had, like the DX thing, and a lot, there's a bunch of stuff I liked of his. So I'm a fan of writing. I'm a fan of good storylines. I'm a fan of character development. I'm a fan of all this stuff. So I just want that to be clear as we move forward, because we're gonna be real on the show. Okay, I'm gonna tell you like a TIE up. Get it? All right. Now I want to get into this whole thing. I need to see. This is for the time being. This is my Jeff. Russo has Jeff. This is my Jeff. I will name you. What should I name it? Frank. Frank. Okay. I'm looking on Frank here, and I want to talk about this roster shakedown thing. I'm not gonna talk about WrestleMania. I actually did a show for WrestleMania. I couldn't get it up in time, unfortunately. So, and again, like I said, you may hear some typing in the back. They're working. I'm the boss, so I don't have to do any work right now. I can do what I want. So, they know I'm recording, but you may hear stuff like that. I just wanted to tell you that because I hear it in my thingamabobber. Anyway, where were we? Yes. So I'm looking at a list right now. This is based off of the Superstar Shakeup, right? So let's first start with overall before I start breaking down the routes, because I have Frank here, newly named, and Frank has the name of everybody that was moved from SmackDown to Raw, Raw to SmackDown, blase blah. Okay, now I have a very hard time understanding as to why it is so difficult to have a equal share in the WWE. When I mean an equal share, I know Vince McMahon really loves this whole thing with Raw. Raw's his baby, I get it. But SmackDown went live, and when a show goes live, I think there's more opportunities to make more money. I hope and pray that we'll never get to the day that SmackDown is 3 hours. I pray that we never get to that. But right now it's at 2 hours, and it really needed to shake up, because I think that SmackDown was very seriously lacking in all departments. The most over thing, in my opinion, on SmackDown, and this is before the Shinsuke Nakamura heel turn, but the most over thing at the time was two things. One, Rusev Day, which we're still, he's still a heel, quote unquote. The second thing is the Bludgeon Brothers. They got over. That's really it. I mean, you had the opportunity to make the Fashion Police over. You squandered that. You had an opportunity to, AJ Styles. Now, don't get me wrong. Listen, before I say this, don't send me a bunch of mail talking about, man, AJ Styles is the greatest wrestler. Listen, I'm not knocking his wrestling ability. But he just as a champion is kind of falling flat for me. And I think it's because he didn't have that big feud yet. So now he essentially has that big feud, and I think it should be interesting moving forward with the feud with this heel Shinsuke Nakamura. But that's neither here nor there. What I am very happy but disappointed with is that, after you watch SmackDown and you enjoy the show and you feel very happy about what took place and all of that, you have kind of like this feeling of, okay, what's going to happen next? And unfortunately, it seems like that the thing that is going to happen next in the WWE has nothing to do with SmackDown in terms of it being a brand that goes to the next step, but it has everything to do with character development on the major show, which is Raw. If you look at the news that's been coming out here lately, they talked about two things. The first thing they talked about is they talked about Bobby Roode. They talked about Bobby Roode being a big deal, that he was, last introduced on Raw. They talk about the big Baron Corbin push. We haven't seen any news about what they're going to do with SmackDown, who's going to be their next big star over there. That's very concerning to me, because that just makes me think that there's no future plans to really push somebody the way that they plan to push somebody on Raw in terms of those two superstars. There's been no news, there's been no rumors, there's been nothing in regards to that. So that's kind of disappointing to me. But I am happy that we were able to have a legitimate conversation about trying to, and when I say legitimate conversation, not like we all sat down, Vince sat down, and, but I'm glad that we're having a legitimate conversation about trying to bring in new talent. And when I say legitimate conversation, and this brings me to Frank, about bringing in new talent, and the reason why I'm phrasing it that way is that SmackDown needs it more than Raw. Raw, as Vince has always pushed, is its main show. SmackDown is becoming like, I hate to say it, but it's reality, becoming like the NXT, but the next step up. So let's talk about the people that moved over to SmackDown, and then we'll talk about the people that moved over to Raw. And we'll talk about why I feel that there's a conversation that is taking place about bringing in new talent. Okay, so we have The Miz, Jeff Hardy, Sonya Deville. I hate that name. And the thing is, was this Sonya thing, right? What's disappointing to me about this Sonya thing is, like, she was like MMA before Ronda came in, and it's like her opportunity to prove herself is like MMA. Like, they had her just get the crap beat out of her. So the name sounds like a bad comic book character. Like, it's the Avengers and Thanos. I don't really have Thanos. I know the nerds are like, what do you need Thanos? But it's like his wife Sonya Deville. Like, it sounds like Cruella Deville's sister. I don't like it. Mandy Rose, another bad name. Mandy. I've never in my life knew a girl named Mandy, nor do I think a lot of people know girls named Mandy. That's just me. Samoa Joe, Eric Young, Killian Dane, Alexander Wolf, Sanity. That was stupid what they did with Sanity, right? They showed this video package of Sanity. Sanity's coming. And then after they showed that video package, they thought I was hearing something in the background. I really hope that's not the grass man, because like it's gonna sound like Mexicools here in a minute if it is. But listen, that's not no racist thing. I just had to, come on, y'all know who the Mexicools are. I don't like what they did with Sanity. Like, Sanity, they had this cool thing saying chaos is coming. I didn't for sure know it was them. I thought I saw Eric Young's face, and then like they show like who's coming to the SmackDown roster, and then they show Sanity's coming. So that promo was just basically a waste of time, whoever created it. I will imagine that they're going to put them in a feud immediately with the New Day. Big Cass, I'm kind of iffy on him because I'm just kind of iffy. It's gonna be interesting to see what he does. Luke Gallows, Carl Anderson. I thought that was a good addition. The Bar, I thought that was a good addition. Cesaro and Sheamus was a good addition. Andre Sine Almas with Zelina Vega. And listen, don't get mad at me because I don't know this dude. I don't watch NXT, and I don't watch NXT because I just don't have time. To be honest with you, I know there's probably a lot of cool things going on over there. You guys can hate me later. You guys can leave comments and tell me, I should watch NXT or maybe I shouldn't watch NXT. But I just don't watch it, so I don't know too much about this guy. I do like his look. I do think his gimmick is very Alberto-esque. But what are you going to do? And then you have R-Truth. That's SmackDown. Really, I don't really see any big changing forces on SmackDown. Big, game changers outside of Samoa Joe. I think that you should have moved Finn Balor over there. I think Finn Balor is definitely needed on that roster. But I'm not too excited about it. When you got Shelton Benjamin cutting a promo as a singles competitor, then that kind of tells you where you're at. Not that he's a bad wrestler, but you didn't push him as Shelton Benjamin as this big deal. You pushed him as Shelton Benjamin in a tag team. So, what are you going to do? But like I said, I'm glad we're having this conversation about bringing in new talent because, quite frankly, it is needed at this point. These guys are like AJ Styles is not a young man. Randy Orton's not a young man. Shinsuke Nakamura's not a young man. So we need to start building and establishing some people. I do think that Drew McIntyre, I was going to say Galloway. Drew McIntyre should have been on SmackDown. I think that he would have been good. Just imagine if you put Drew McIntyre with Big Cass and had those two big guys, the visual of it, and they just are beating people up on SmackDown. It would have been cool. But who am I? And did I say R-Truth? I don't think I said R-Truth. I don't even know why R-Truth is even... That's like having the Big Show on the brand right now. Like, it doesn't really matter. But we don't really need any more comic reliefs. We have the New Day, but I guess we did. So, okay, let's cover Raw. Jinder Mahal, Ruby Riott, another name I don't like. It's like, do we have a random name generator and we just put two first names together or two things together? I didn't like Ruby Riott. Liv Morgan, Sarah Logan. I do like the name Liv Morgan. I think that's pretty cool. Sarah Logan. Can I be honest with y'all? Okay, come close. Come close. Let me get you guys closer. Shh. It's close. Close enough. Close enough. Close enough. What's the matter with this chick? Like, doesn't she look kind of awkward? Like, what's her gimmick? Is she like a mountain woman or something? Is she the missing link? Is she really a man? Not saying that she's ugly, but I'm not saying that she's pretty, so what am I saying? Is it just me, or does she seem out of place? Is it just me, or did she get called up too early? Is it just me, or am I uncomfortable when I see her? Because I just feel like that she's not really righty enough. That's just me. And she's not attractive. Yeah, I said it. Alright, you can back away from me now. Slowly. There you go. So anyway, like I was saying, I'm not a fan of hers. Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Zack Ryder. Did I go to sleep and I missed that Zack Ryder was Like, cause there's like some people they just put on a list. I'm like, well, wait a minute. Zack Ryder's one of them. Tyler Breeze, Fandango. You like Fandango? Yes. Me too. Natalia, Dolph Ziggler, Drew McIntyre. This is another thing I wanted to sleep on. Connor and Victor, the Ascension. I like their gimmick before they start doing all this funny stuff. So maybe we should take some time away from. I bet. How much you guys want to bet that he's gonna have something? They're gonna have something to do with Matt Hardy and Bray. How much I want to bet? Nothing. Okay, fine. I thought you want to win some money. Okay, Mojo Rawley. Again, I must have fell asleep for that. Baron Corbin, Bobby Roode, Chad Gable. Went to sleep for that one, and Mike Kanellis. Again, I think a guy like Mike Kanellis should have been on SmackDown. I think that if you gave him an opportunity to shine with his gimmick, that it would have been better. But like I said, I'm glad we're having the conversation of injecting young, new talent. Young, new talent is something that the WWE needs in all facets. But I think, like I said, the evenness is unbalanced, maybe because of that extra hour that Raw has. But at the same time, what is the established mid-card, lower card, I'm sorry, let me start here, lower, mid, and main for SmackDown? Because I just really feel that there's not that. I just feel like it's a bunch of guys that are put together, in my opinion. I just feel like we have a bunch of misfits really put together. Like, I don't really see a superstar out of the bunch. And I'm talking about the new people coming over. They have stars there, but I really think that bringing Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens act over to Raw, I think we should have broke them up maybe and figured out something, because they're both extremely talented. I don't know. I just my whole feeling is that we could have really did more with this roster reshuffle, shake up, and made it more even. Now, We've established that I don't really like that SmackDown kind of got the short end of the stick. I've established that I'm glad we're having conversations. And when I mean conversations, the people in the back are saying, hey, this is Vince McMahon. Hey, guys, I don't know why my Vince McMahon sounds like that, but he does. It's kind of awkward. I could do Doc Hendricks, but then again, he's blacker than me, so I crack myself up. Let's just say they had a conversation in the back, and they said we need to bring these guys in, inject some new talent, build some people. Great, fantastic, love it. I love it. I don't love the fact that we're bringing so many new people in at the same time. Glad we're having a conversation. I think it's too many new people at the same time. I think it's too many new people on one show. That's just my opinion, but who am I? But we've established that fact. That's how I feel. Now, this is what we need to do: is we need to figure out what we're going to do for the future, right? So, I think the Shinsuke AJ thing is going to have some legs, at least for 2 more pay-per-views. So for Backlash and for the one after that, I think they'll have like a specialty match at the one after Backlash. Samoa Joe, I don't know what you do with him. Just like I don't know what to do with my hands on the video. I don't know what you do with Samoa Joe. I don't like, who does he feud? Who's his first feud? Oh, Orton. That would be good. Orton, Samoa Joe. I would have loved to see Braun come to SmackDown but like, that's Vince's boy. But I would have loved him to come to SmackDown and just like destroy the whole route. Like everybody's in the ring, and you have Big Cass with his hands up or something, and then the wrestler slowly getting up, and then you hear the big pop, and Braun Strowman comes out, and then they're probably, oh my, what a big addition, Braun Strowman, he's coming to the ring, he's on SmackDown, and then, and just destroy everything. That would have been a really dope moment if they did that. They did not. I cannot be upset at that, but they did not do that. But we have to think of the future, and the future, I think, is going to be tough for SmackDown because we're going to have to build these stars that are new for newer guys like me who may not watch NXT religiously or may not watch NXT at all. And then at the same time, we have to make interesting storylines. So we have one hand, interesting storylines, another hand, building a guy. And we have to do that at the same time and make it interesting. I do not like that Daniel Bryan is wrestling every week. I think Daniel Bryan should be like an event. I think they should treat him like they're treating Ronda Rousey, like they're treating Lesnar. I don't think he should be something that's there every single week. That's just my opinion. I know you probably guys enjoyed seeing him in the ring, and I did too. He came from a lot. He did a lot. But I don't want to see him every single week. He's special. He's special. But they're in SmackDown's in an interesting place. Now Raw has so much reloaded talent and so many different storylines, directions that they can go that they'll be fine. But I'm concerned about SmackDown. And hopefully, just like there was last minute trades that nobody, or not trades, this is not like how they used to do back in the day when they had the draft. But with so many, things that happen at the 11th hour that I didn't really know about. Hopefully there's a couple of more people coming over to SmackDown that we may not necessarily know about. That's going to make things interesting. Hopefully maybe they have a contract with Rey Mysterio coming up, bring him over to SmackDown. SmackDown lacks that superstar power. I mean, think about it. Raw has Brock Lesnar. It has Roman Reigns. It has Braun Strowman. It has Elias. And SmackDown has Rusev Day and Shinsuke Nakamura, and I can't even mention AJ Styles because he's just not doing it for me as a champion right now. I'm talking about guys that are like super over right now. So we got to do something. It is grossly imbalanced, and hopefully we do something sooner rather than later. But again, we're at the end of my show, man. That was a quick. Did you get some food and enjoy what you heard? Maybe, perhaps. Maybe next week you're not busy. We can do this again. I could take you out, and one thing can lead to the other. And don't do that. Okay. Yeah. So hopefully you enjoyed the show. This is gonna be a topic-based show, but I wanted to talk like if there's something major that happens. Like the Superstar shakeup, I'm going to talk about it. So I wanted to definitely talk about what happened. But I'm concerned about SmackDown's future. We need to do more and create more. The Miz, you know what? The Miz is a superstar. I take that back. The Miz is somebody that's big, but he's a heel. Who's that? That opposite major face. Who's that opposite major face? I guess he's going to get in the program with Daniel Bryan, but it's not really going to mean anything. It's not for a title or anything, right? So I don't know. They should have brought the whole Miztourage over there, that whole act over there, and then you could have did something with Bo. And anyway, doesn't matter. I'm rambling now. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed today's show. I will be here next week. please let Mr. Vince Russo know that you enjoyed it. Tweet him, 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 and let him know that you enjoyed the show. I'll be back next week, man. So again, if you have any comments, questions, I don't know what that means. Maybe any comments or questions. And that's how I'm going to end the show this week. Just like that.